Hi everybody. In our last video, we have discussed the National Education Policy 2020 in bullets. In this video, we will have a brief analysis of the same policy. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share my video, and keep the notification icon, that is the bell icon, on. Let's start. After a thorough discussion and considerations, the National Education Policy 2020 was finally approved by the Union Cabinet. The new national policy came after a gap of 34 years. The draft National Education Policy 2020 was prepared by K. Kasturirangan Committee and was translated into 22 languages with an audiobook version. Finally, the National Education Policy got the nod on 29th July 2020. Let's go for a brief analysis of the policy. The Government of India set up the University Education Commission in November 1948 and the Commission submitted its final report in August 1949. The Commission was known as Radhakrishnan Commission as it was chaired by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. On the basis of the recommendations of Radhakrishnan Commission, University Education System was established and University Grants Commission UGC was set up in 1956. The Government of India came out with the Secondary Education Commission in October 1952, which submitted its final report in June 1953. The commission was headed by Dr. A. Lakshman Swarup Mudaliar. As per the Mudaliar Commission, the duration of the secondary education was made to be 7 years from 11 to 18 years of age. Secondary education should come after 4 to 5 years of primary education. The middle or senior basic schooling should cover a period of 3 years, whereas the higher secondary of another 3 years. The intermediate class was abolished. 12th class was attached to the university, whereas the 11th class was attached to the school. The National Education Commission came into existence in July 1964 under the chairmanship of Dr. D.S. Kothari. It submitted its final report titled Education and National Development in June 1966. According to the Commission, 10 years of general education was introduced, which included 4 years of lower primary education, 3 years of higher primary education, and 3 years of lower secondary education. Prior to the general education, pre-primary education should be given. Higher secondary education will be of 2 years. The graduation will be of 2 to 3 years. After graduation, there would be a post-graduation course of 3 years. The Commission has recommended one language, that is the mother tongue or the regional language in lower primary, 2 languages, that is the mother tongue or the regional language, and Hindi or English in higher primary, 3 languages, that is the mother tongue or the regional language, Hindi or English, and any other Indian language in lower secondary, and any 2 languages in higher secondary. In 1968, the first national policy on education was implemented in line with the Kothari Commission. The first national policy on education focused on access to education. In a major development, education was put under concurrent list in 1976 by the 42nd Amendment Act. Now, the center had to consult and collaborate with the states to implement the policies related to education. The second national policy on education was introduced in 1986. It was focused on removal of disparities and promotion of equality. Some important changes introduced in the national policy on education were: number 1, the 10+2+3 educational structure was made the national system of education. Number 2, empowerment of women through education. Number 3, provision of incentives to poor families and scheduled castes to encourage them to send their children to school. Pre-matric scholarship. Number 5, recruitment of teachers from scheduled caste. Number 6, opening special schools with hostel facility at district headquarters for handicapped. The second national education policy was revised in the year 1992 through a program of action. A central advisory board of education was set up under the chairmanship of Dr. Janardhan Reddy, and the board presented its report titled Revised National Policy on Education in May 1992. Prior to the formation of the board, a committee was formed to revise it under the chairmanship of Acharya Ramamurthy in May 1990, but its recommendations were never considered. Some important changes made through the revision were: Number 1, the 10 plus 2 plus 3 structure was made the common education structure throughout India. Number 2, Navodaya schools opened. Number 3, adult education was encouraged through National Literacy Mission for adults of age group 15 to 35 years. Provision for education of minorities. Operation Blackboard, that is setting up of minimum requirement criteria for schools. The structure of schools were made as follows. Pre-primary stage included the age group starting from 1.5 years to 5 years. Primary stage included 6 to 10 years of age group. The middle stage included 11 to 14 years of age group. The secondary stage included 15 to 18 years of age. Undergraduation stage included students with 18 plus years of age, and the post-graduation or doctorate included 21 plus years of age. K. Kasturirangan Committee submitted its final report in 2019, and based on its recommendations, the new National Education Policy 2020 was rolled out. The new National Education Policy 2020 focuses on quality education. It emphasizes the need for designing a framework for school education, higher education, teachers training, research work, and governance. Some of the important features of the new National Education Policy 2020 are: the 10 plus 2 structure will be replaced with the new 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure. The first 5 years will be considered as foundation stage, which will be of 3 to 8 years of age and which includes pre-primary to second standard. Preschool for first 3 years, that is 3 to 6 years of age, and the next 2 years of class 1 and class 2, that is for 6 to 8 years of age. Multi-level play or activity-based learning will be encouraged in the foundational stage, and for the first time, this preschooling will be attached to the main school curriculum. The foundation stage will be followed by preparatory stage. Preparatory stage includes 3rd to 5th standard. It will be of 3 years, which includes the age group 8 to 11 years of age. Play, discovery, activity-based and interactive classroom learning will be promoted in the preparatory stage. Middle or intermediary stage. This stage includes 6th to 8th standard. It will be of 3 years, which includes 11 to 14 years of age. Experiential learning in the science, arts, social science and humanity to promote critical thinking, and introduction of coding in 6th standard for improving the technical know-how of the children are important features of this stage. Secondary stage. It will include 9th to 12th standard. It will be of 4 years and includes 14 to 18 years of age. Abolition of a single stream study, that is introduction of a multidisciplinary study, greater critical thinking and flexibility, students' choice of subjects, and progressive and supportive learning to students are important features of this stage. Syllabus size will be reduced and interactive educational activities like projects, debates, and others will be promoted. The importance of examination will be dwarfed by reducing the number of examinations from 8 to 3. The board exams will remain as they are, and other examination will be conducted at 3rd, 5th and 8th only. NCERT will make some foundational change in its curriculum, enabling mathematical thinking and analytical approach. Education will be imparted through the medium of mother tongue or regional language at least till class 5. Schools would be encouraged to teach 3 languages to students, 2 of which would be native to India. A National Education Technology Forum (NETF) will be established to promote digital learning. NETF will provide a platform for the free exchange of ideas on the use of technology to enhance learning assessment, planning, and administration. Schools will have dedicated training for healthcare skills like first aid, CPR, and personal hygiene. Every child will be trained to provide a better environment to keep track of their well-being, and schools would be trained to provide a better environment to aid students with disabilities. Every school will be encouraged to hire counselors to help children in need. Practical and life skill will be imparted to students through observing bag-free days. This will lessen the burden of the school bag. STEAM classification of arts, humanity, science, and commerce will be abolished, and students can now choose from a wider pool of subjects. There would be no classification between curricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular activities. Vocational training will be introduced from class 6th to 12th during their summer break. During this period, the students will get in touch with their local businesses and trades to understand the business operation for a span of 10 days. This will inculcate entrepreneurial and business knowledge in the young minds and serve as an ethical lesson to respect all types of work. Artificial intelligence powered software will be launched to keep a track of students' progress throughout the year. National Testing Agency will conduct quality aptitude tests to map student skills. Peer assessment and teaching will be promoted to help students grow in synergy. The final report card will provide a holistic view of students' performance and will include students' own views as well. Let us now discuss important features to be added to the higher education system. The National Education Policy 2020 paves the way for the top universities from all over the world to set up their campuses in India. They will bring their skill and expertise for our system, and they will be regulated by the Indian authorities. Top Indian universities will be allowed to set up their campuses abroad, thus bringing foreign exchange and international recognition for the nation. The National Testing Agency will offer a standardized test for all students who have completed their class 12. The common test may not be mandatory but will serve as a gateway to higher education for students. The government will regulate the fee structure for both public as well as private institutions. All educational institutions will be recognized as non-profit institutions, and their profit will be used to improve educational levels. The government will decide a fee ceiling which cannot be surpassed by any institution for any region. All institutions which provide education in only a few disciplines will be promoted to become multidisciplinary. Multiple entry and exit options in every degree course will enable students to jump from one course to other. The undergraduate degree will be of either 3 or 4 years duration with multiple exit options. Those who pursue a 3-year undergraduate degree will have to spend 2 years in a master's degree program, 1 year master's degree program, and the second year for research. 3 plus 2 structure. And those who pursue a 4-year undergraduate degree will have to spend 1 year in their master's degree program. This is under 4 plus 1 structure. A student can exit after first year with a certificate and can join directly in the second year. After second year with a diploma and can join directly in the third year. After third year with a bachelor's degree. And in this case, either a student can opt for a master's degree or join the 4th year of the 4-year undergraduate program. The National Education Policy will establish an academic bank of credit where academic progress of a student will be recorded in the form of credits earned after studying any subject in any course. The credits will be later used as a reflector of students' knowledge of a particular discipline. Here, 1 credit is equal to 1 hour of teaching or tutorial, or 1 credit is equal to 2 hours of practical or field work. Students will be allowed to choose their major and minor subjects as per their will, and they will be graded accordingly. Let us now talk about the changes that were to be made in governing system. The University Grants Commission (UGC) and All India Council of Technical Education (AICTE) will be integrated to Higher Education Commission of India (HECI). The grant and academic functions were separated. The grant activities will be looked after by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, which will be renamed as Ministry of Education. The academic activities will be regulated by the HECI. To evaluate the performance and functioning of the educational institutions throughout India, the policy plans to launch PARAKH. PARAKH, P-A-R-A-K-H, stands for Performance Assessment, Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development. It is a standard setting body. The HECI will establish a meta-accreditation body named National Accreditation Council (NAC), which will grade institutions on the basis of basic norms, public self-disclosure, good governance, and outcomes. The policy lays down the procedure to train teachers to adapt to new educational frameworks. It will enable all teachers to teach and assess students according to the National Education Policy by 2023 across all schools in India. All teachers mandatorily complete the 4-year BEd course by 2030. All inept training institutions will be discontinued. A new governing body on research will be established in the name of National Research Foundation (NRF). The NRF will be headed by a rotating board of directors who are top researchers in their respective field. NRF would be an autonomous body. It will look after funding, mentoring, and building quality of research in India. NRF aims at funding researchers working across streams in India in 4 disciplines. They are science, technology, social science, and arts and humanity. The MPhil program will be discontinued, whereas the master's program will continue as it is. Students can directly opt for a doctorate degree after pursuing their post-graduation. If we will talk about expenditure on education, then the National Education Policy 2020 proposes to double the expenditure on education. It proposes the expenditure of 6% of the GDP. This will be spent for technological upgradation of all government-owned schools, recruiting better trained staff, student counselors, and healthcare systems in institutions. So if you will summarize, the policy is an idealistic one. Let us see how it works after its implementation. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my channel, like and share my video, and stay tuned to my channel. Thank you.